Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Europa Universalis IV. Well, last time, we began exploring the Cape of Good Hope. And when I say began, unfortunately, that's all we could do for now, because then my conquistador died. And apparently, he was the only one who knew how to explore, meaning we've now just got an army sitting down here in the middle of nowhere, not really sure what to do with itself. But don't you worry, I've got a solution to that. In no time whatsoever, we're going to be embracing ideas about exploration. And then, we can start producing our own conquistadors and our own explorers. And then yes, the world's going to start growing in a bloody hurry. Technology is moving in a good direction, the economy is flipping booming. Oh yeah, I think we're actually in a good spot right now. If only because, right now, my principal adversary and only rival in the world is Ethiopia. And I am pretty sure that, yeah, in terms of their economy, they are miles behind me. The market they're running is pathetic next to mine. And on top of that, yeah, I've got like 20,000 troops out at all times, and I could easily afford another 10,000 via mercenaries. They're currently at war, they've got 19,000 out, and only 6,000 as a manpower reserve, so, yeah. If it comes to it, I am confident we could take Ethiopia in a fight. Not that we need to, because we're now best of friends with the MacLeod dynasty up here, so as a result of that, yes, I feel like if Ethiopia tries anything with us, they're gonna be in trouble. Speaking of which, I am aware that has kind of just dragged me into, yes, a war against the, Ottomans and whatnot, who are currently the third most powerful nation in the world, etc, etc, but okay, I don't think they're planning to come down here. Like, they will eat some territory, absolutely, but they're not going all the way down to Egypt, presumably. We'll keep an eye on that whole scenario, though, yes, I don't think it's really going to be involving me that much at all. Instead, today, I've got my sights set, yes, much more close to home. Because we're only a few years away from spawning our first colonists, and I think I know precisely where baby's first colony ought to go. You see, there's a tiny bit of land right here. So, you know, right next to my territory, so I can go and reinforce it nice and easily. And more importantly, this is officially part of my trade node. And on top of that, it's got a good natural harbour in it. This can actually contribute some good trade value to my trade zone. So, yeah, this here is a very good spot to do a bit of test colonization before we, like, you know, mosey much further off to the east or whatnot. And I'm also keeping a very close eye on Madagascar, because the situation over there is, yes, changing in a flipping hurry. When I first considered whether I wanted to bother taking the island, it was divided between like 6 different empires, all of which had armies about as big as mine. Now it's only a matter of years away from, yes, being brought under a single empire, and that empire still has the same number of troops as, yes, when we, like, started the game. So at this point, it's not going to be difficult for me to go over there and take the entire lot in one war. So yeah, I'm basically just waiting for these guys to take the entire island, then I'll go and take it off them. Not least as my religious trade policies have been yielding some very good results over there, so, yeah. Things are looking very positive, like most of the island is already agreeing with me. Still, before we get to that, yeah, there is some army modernization I think we need to do in light of recent tech advances, so, okay. Get time ticking along here, because, yes, I think we need to just save up some money nice and quick. Oh, better and better, as the Merchant Guild seem to, yes, at least temporarily have decided not to overthrow me in a horrible bloody coup. It's time for a diet! And speaking of which, yeah, the Merchant Guilds would love me to build a marketplace or whatnot over here in Malindi, and, you know what? It does have a natural harbour, that would be a good spot for one, so, sure, why not? Oh, and you know what? That does remind me. Well, like, you know, at peace and whatnot, no signs of imminent trouble, aside from maybe some small rebellions here or there. I have been thinking, it is possible that my Sultan might be a tiny bit, you know, past it. He's never been that great in many ways, and kind of noticed his son is like nearly twice as good when it comes to administration, 3 times as good when it comes to diplomacy. diplomacy is what we need if we want to be banking ideas in a hurry. The lad's got, you know, a strong claim, so apparently there would be no trouble in the event he decided to just step onto the throne or whatnot, though... Okay. Unfortunately, right, we can't step down right this second on account of that whole war thing, though I really feel like we're just showing up on the sidelines as cheerleaders. We're not really involved in that war properly or anything. Oh, but here might be interesting. What we could do is, yeah, swap out one of my advisors for a much better one, and I think I've seen this popping around. Occasionally, if you do a mission for one of the factions, they say, hey, someone will appear in Kilwa, and that'll be what's going on here. This trader is expensive, however, plus a 3 to diplomacy. I mean, that kind of feels worth it to me. Like, basically, I'm just, yeah, spending quite a large amount of money to buy monarch points. But that feels like that's actually a good thing to do with my money. Like, I'm swimming in money right now, so... you know what? Welcome aboard, sir. I mean, what's also nice is, he's barely costing any more money than, yeah, the +2 guy up here at admin. But I'm getting a whole extra point out of it, so that is not bad. I do find it hilarious, though, that, yes, the wages of those 3 guys are now greater than the entire army and navy put together. Though, significantly more as it turns out. Marvellous. Yes, I suppose it represents not just them, but, like, you know, their entire staff. Like, you know, the entire bureaucratic machine of government or something. Also, update on the Ottoman situation. It turns out they are coming all the way down to Egypt. Yes, though, I mean, hopefully they're not going to take all of that. They'll just take, like, some of it. And you know what? These guys will still be pretty strong. Like, you know what? They're going to win. Oh. Looks like they're actually not going to win against those guys, potentially. Right, the Ottomans might be significantly stronger than the Egyptian forces. Got it. Still, I am loving this new monarch power of 878. That's pretty good. Oh, and fantastic news over the water. Right. Madagascar has now been united under one not particularly strong empire, who are also the same religion as me. So yeah, they're already doing a good work converting the territory on my behalf before I even get over there. Oh, and here we go. Our first ideas have just started coming online. So, right, how precisely do we make this work? So, exploration ideas, quest for the new world. It will cost 382 diplomatic power to buy this idea. I am very happy to do aforementioned thing. Meaning now, yes, explorers, conquistadors, they can be recruited. Brilliant. And we also start work immediately on colonial ventures. So, right, soon we'll have our first colonists too. And we're also making progress towards more colonial range and more trade range. So, right, these ideas sync up with my national ideas really nicely. So, good news, guys. We have now got the ability to recruit a new conquistador. Meaning, finally, the march to locate the Cape of the Cape of Good Hope can continue. Because presumably, there is a market somewhere around here. It's a market that no one trades in, like, at all. There doesn't seem to be anybody here, but, like, it's a theoretical market. Maybe in future, like, we could found that market, though... Why would we do that? Because if we did that, trade might flow from my core market round to a secondary market, and trade seems to only, like, flow in certain directions. It only goes, like, from here down to here, never back, so surely I wouldn't want to set up a market down here. Like, you know, boosting up the territory up in this direction, or round here, and then funneling more of it down to my market, that would be a good idea, but... yeah, surely, like, what I want to do is stop anyone from ever setting up in the Cape of Good Hope. So, there's no market to steal goods from my market, though. You know what, let's just define this theoretical imaginary market first, and we'll work from there. It was literally right next door. We just found the cocking Cape of the Cape of Good Hope. We made it one province short before our conquistador died. Well, that's cocking irritating, isn't it? I mean, I will give ya, the area around here, it's got a good natural harbour, and the locals seem chill, so... okay, maybe, just maybe, once we do our, like, you know, baby test colony over here, we might be willing to consider expanding in this direction if there's some good natural anchorage. Oh, good news, by the way, that war's over. Yes, as I was expecting, the Ottomans didn't actually take that much. They needed to smash a large amount of Egypt to take Somaliland, but yes, they only actually took, like, this bit up here. So these guys will still make very solidly good friends. And best as I can tell, yeah, I don't actually have to, like, you know, pay any war reparations, anything like that. My help would have been appreciated, but yes, they don't, like, hold me accountable for the loss. But right, now we're at peace and whatnot, just out of interest, how bad is it if I, like, you know, abdicate in favour of my much better son? Because he's even got construction costs down on top of superior stats, and I feel like, yeah, that's better than what we've got for the most part. So we lose some legitimacy, because this isn't how this is really supposed to be done. And legitimacy is fine, but yeah, it's a fairly modest benefit, really, though. Ooh. National unrest down, I'll give you that one's nice. But it looks like it will be just ticking upwards pretty fast anyway. And then at minus 50 prestige. It's a lot of prestige as well. But okay. That will, oh hang on. Right now prestige is going down anyway. Why is it going down anyway? Oh, it just goes down full stop, so you know what? If we just do this, then yeah, presumably it'll just start ticking back up again. It'll just end up in the same place where it naturally wants to be, so this is worth it. We're doing this. So yes, you just step down in favour of some much more exciting, sexy young bloods. Okay, there may be some more issues than I was expecting in some ways as a result of this, so okay, hang on, hang on. Who precisely is marrying who and rising up against who right now? Oh, apparently the old guy's dead. I just pushed the abdicate button. Like, I didn't think he was going to end up dead. I think he was just stepping down and saying, hey, here's my son. He's better than me. How about he rules? And everyone would be like, that's a good idea, because it would have been him when you died anyway, but now it's just going to be him sooner, and he's better than you, so good choice, sir. You know, polite applause. Everyone says, great, but apparently he's dead. Is abdicate just a polite way of saying murder? Not sure, possibly. But right, apparently there's been, like, plotting and murder and scheming advisors and whatnot. So, okay, we need to figure out who's actually going to be king. And I really want it to be like, you know, this guy, the actual guy. So, that loses a stability. Oh, you didn't mention stability going down. That's a big deal, actually. So, right. Also, there's going to be a revolt in Kilwa, which is not ideal. But then again, at least Kilwa is well defended. So, yeah. Going for anybody else, more stability goes down. But that rebellion doesn't happen. I mean, or we could just, you know, take this guy right here. In fact, he's... Oh! You don't even have a claim on the throne. You're just a scheming advisor. But, right. You could become our king. It's going to hit stability, like, worse. But as a result of that... Okay, you're 5, 3, and 4. You're 2, 5, and 2. That's not good enough, I'm afraid. So, right, we need to put down this rebellion. He's also apparently already married to, like, somebody. When did that happen? I did not approve of this. Okay, step 1, restore the stability to at least neutral. Alright, we need stability to be neutral. Now, there are, however, yeah, 18,000 people causing trouble round here. What have they actually got, by the way? They've got... Oh! Apparently they've got, like, guns or something. No, they've not got guns, but they've got a leader who knows how to use guns, even though there's no guns. That is a lot of flipping horses, by the way. They've got a lot of cavalry here. And one of my main armies is, like, over here just exploring and whatnot, so... Okay, what I'm going to say is, 1, could you rebels just, like, not rise up for a second? Like, that would be good, if at all possible. Summon the mercenaries, okay? We can just summon a giant pile of mercenaries. They can deal with this. The good thing is, the rebels are going to take a long time to siege down Kilwa. It's got some good defenses in it, so, yeah, they're going to be stuck there for some time. So I think, yeah, let's bring in, just as we need numbers, the Grand Company and the Free Company. Alright, we'll bring you guys around about here. That is fine. That makes us go over our country's force limit. Oh, I didn't know mercenaries counted towards that, but fine, we'll deal with it, I suppose. You just do that. You come in over here. There's about to be a cocking rebellion up here. And I'm not going to be able to put it down, meaning they're going to take a bit of territory, so separatism's going to exist, meaning there's going to be another rebellion in 10 years, so this bloody territory up here, it never calms down. If I'd have known there was going to be a scheming advisor seizing the throne, then, you know, obviously I wouldn't have done this while one of my armies was off exploring the Cape of Good Hope. But, okay, the game didn't warn me about that, so we are where we are, I suppose. Okay, with the benefit of hindsight, this was a terrible moment to, like, you know, do this. Because there's the cocking revolt now. The moment my troops are not ready to intercept it. So, right, put those bastards down, but they're going to take Partey. Now, as a result, Partey's going to have the separatism debuff against its unrest for, like, the next century or something, so well, this is all very annoying. You go and deal with that, while these guys just pull their strength together. You know what? I'm taking stability up to 1. I like positive stability. Stability is nice. In fact, it could go up to 2. That would calm things down a little bit as well. But 1 will do for now, okay? We need these points for tack. Do not forget that. So, every cocking time we cocking a move away from a rebel province, that's the moment it rebels. And I do not need to be told about influenza right now. You deal with it. Right, step 1, let that army recover. And also, yeah, just recapture this territory right here. And as for you guys in Mombasa, okay, just deal with them for a second by just putting that rebellion off for a bit. Because for the minute, we've got bigger problems to worry about. Like, you know, this nonsense. Right, deploy all armies simultaneously over the river to Kilwa. I've got, yes, a decent army here, led by a competent, experienced general and 2 units of cavalry backing me up. So, you know, give you this scheming advisor. He really wants the throne. Like, that is a big rebel army, all things considered. So, right. The problem we've got here is, I am not worried about the sale of titles right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we're fighting for survival of our cocking nation. So, yeah, this was a bit of a close one, but we've officially defeated the scheming advisor. Oh, better and better. The game's willing to give me, yeah, 1 stability in return for just swapping some loyalty around between the emirs and the merchant guilds. And that is fine, because the Merchant Guild's currently at 77.3, so I will happily take a 3-point stability. Thank you. Also, my friends up north want soldiers. Do they mean manpower? You can have manpower, that would be reasonable. Okay, it was manpower, that's fine. So, okay. You guys have been chased off for the minute. My forces are recovering. Where are you going, by the way? Because in a perfect world, I would like to break down some of these forces. But I feel like I can't really do that until this has been definitely taken care of one way or another. Okay, exploratory force down here. I feel like you don't need 10,000 men right now. What we do need, though, is, yes, to not be paying the wages of 10,000 men. So, yeah, just pick 2,000 guys you don't like that much. And they could just be broken down, that's fine. Right, deploy my troops southwards, because I think the scheming advisor has decided to try his luck once again. But he's got, like, no morale, and I've got loads of morale, so, right, just kick his ass a second time, till he learns his cocking lesson, alright, and another victory. Please stop just retreating over and over again. You have lost, my friend. The insurrection is over. He's genuinely just moving down the coast constantly. Like, every single time he... Oh, hang on. I think he might actually be done. Good, I think he's gone. Let's just make it absolutely sure by marching north. And he's not like, you know, marched somewhere else we can't see him. But I think the situation has been dealt with. Meaning, as a result, okay, everybody who's a mercenary, you can go home at this point. So as a result, we're back to making a profit, although it's still going to cost us some money and take some time for us to, get that army back up to good shape. Okay, here's what I'm going to do to try and slightly calm down Mombasa and the surrounding areas that are generating a lot of unrest. I am going to actually increase their autonomy, alright? You guys can have, like, freedom, rights, whatever it is autonomy means precisely. And as a result, unrest goes down, the amount you're paying me goes down a bit too, but honestly, you are not generating that much money. That is fine. So, okay, that puts unrest down to 0. You guys, you weren't paying me that much either. That's fine. You can also have a little bit more autonomy. Well done. You guys were fine already. You guys are okay at the minute, but you're not going to be as soon as the recent uprising thingy wears off. So, right, you can also have some increased autonomy. Mombasa can't, though. I think the reason they're being so troublesome is because, yes, I tried lowering their autonomy as an experiment, and it turns out that is not a good idea. They do not like that. So instead, we'll just send the army to go and stand right next to their city, looking menacing. Still, despite that faff, mission basically accomplished here. We're now earning, 10 admin, 9 diplomacy, 8 military power. And we're also up at 2 stability. So that's gotta be good as well. Oh, and I think I've got to, redo the national decisions I did as the last guy. Like those are just available again, because I swear I've done some of these before. So, absolutely, we'll denounce certain practices if that gets unrest down. Brilliant. And on top of that, yes, missionaries can be better. That's good too. And then, I'll adopt a new honorific, absolutely. So, okay, bonus prestige. So, okay, with that drama taken care of, we've got a small secondary navy, which right now is just floating around to one of the other trade zones and generating a bit of extra money for us. And that's great. But I feel like, yes, potentially a better use for him might be going and doing a bit of exploring. Though I'll tell you what, we've also got, for some reason, our main fleet here being constructed out of 6 transports and 19 light ships, so I'm not sure you guys should be going around securing trade. That's not what you do. So, okay, hang on, we can sort this out now. Just to separate out all of the cogs. We don't need you guys to be involved in that nonsense. Then, join it with 2 other cogs I think we inherited from Safala back in the day. So, you guys just go over there and, all join up or whatnot. And then, I'm not 100% sure, how many ships you ought to send exploring. Is exploring dangerous? I don't know. I'm going to say, let's send, 7 ships, a number I have picked out of thin air, to go and do some exploring. Guess that feels excessive. 6. 6 will be fine. So, you guys just keep doing your trade mission. And you guys, you're gonna be led by an explorer. Ah, but apparently, right, this doesn't work like conquistadors. I can't just, point them at a bit of sea and say, hey, go take care of that. Instead, they've got to be given a mission. So step 1, send it to a port, then we set it that task. So we need to pick a specific objective. With the right technology, they can full-on explore the entire globe, but for now, West Indian Ocean coast. West Indian Ocean sea. I mean, West Indian Ocean coast would presumably be just skirting around the coast. But I feel like a good starting point would be, uncovering what's going on here. There might be some nice and nearby islands, meaning we don't need to go all the way to the Far East or whatnot. So you just get on with that, and we'll keep an eye on whatever it is you stumble across. Oh, it's been a month, and the guy claims he's done, exploring the entire West Indian Ocean. I mean, I think there's more here than there was previously, but I still feel like there's bits we could be filling in a bit better. You kind of half-assed this a bit, mate. Ah, but now he's explored that, right, he can explore further afield. Well, expanding out to filling out the map bit by bit here. Gotcha! So now the South Indian Sea, which is presumably this area over here, which is a much more of a mystery, you could go and do. Brilliant! Still, I've got good news, which is, after a long and slightly circuitous journey, my friend the new conquistador has made it back home. And the conclusion that we draw from this is, the Cape of Good Hope is not particularly interesting in terms of expansion. Like, there's one decent natural harbour in the entire Cooking region. That appears to be it. Do you have any idea how many good natural harbours we have got inside our market? Like, it is much better than that. Also, the chappie claims he's, done with the South Indian Ocean. I feel like he's just making this up as he goes along. Like, the map is barely any more full on this occasion. Okay, do the coast, please. Oh, and I'm glad I changed this, by the way, which is right. It would appear I don't need to modernise my army at all. I was assuming I needed to break down the old spearmen and replace them with my new military tier 5 warriors. But that appears to have just sort of happened by itself somehow. So yeah, this force right now is 8,000 infantry. Over the water, meanwhile, at Madagascar, right, they are at tier 4 tech, meaning they're presumably still using basic African spearmen. They've not moved over to warriors because that's tier 5. So, right, advantage of me in the upcoming war. They've also got, yeah, 7,000 troops here, with the capacity, potentially, to train a lot more. Assuming their economy can actually support it. So step 1, to actually get, you know, the justification for war, I need to build a whole bunch of ships. 10 transports officially, and also an army at least 100% of force limits. So yeah, if I just knock out a few new troops and also a couple more boats. Hang on, how many boats do we actually have? I think it's like 8 transports right now. Yeah, 8. But that only lets me carry 8 regiments. If I want to send over, say, 12, which feels like a safer number under the circumstances, yeah, we're going to be needing more ships. So yeah, those ships will take, give or take, a year to produce, no matter where we do that. They're pretty cheap, so that is fine. So yeah, get those up to 12. And the troops will train further up the coast because, yeah, they'll be done much faster. So, as a result, they'll have time to boost their morale, march down the coast, etc, etc. So, yeah, we'll go to 10 in terms of infantry. And we'll also add some cavalry into this army. Oh, you're done exploring the West Indian Ocean coast, are you? Are you 100% sure? Because I swear we knew all of this already. Like, maybe you filled in the detail a tiny amount, but I swear, this guy is just going out on his boat, hiding on one of these tiny islands for a couple of weeks, coming back and making it all up. Okay, this time, I believe he actually did something, alright? That bit of the South Atlantic Ocean was definitely not properly explored previously. Oh, and I'll tell you what, it was all worth it because he has indeed discovered the theoretical imaginary market of the Cape of Good Hope. Which, yes, just sort of has nothing in it right now, so I mean, there is no market if there's no market activity. So, logically, this doesn't exist. Just whatever's around the corner over here, the Ivory Coast, apparently, like, that would be the next market over. Like, there can't be a Cape of Good Hope market if there's no market. So, that doesn't make any sense, so okay, let's just not worry about it. When I go to the Cape, which I guess I'm going to do for some reason, yes, that will generate some money, which will then immediately flow out of the market to the Ivory Coast, so still not 100% sure why I would bother coming this way. The game does seem to think that yes, this is going to be of vital importance for controlling the flow of trade going west. I'm not sure I want trade going west. Like, trade coming into my central market seems to be way more useful to me than trade going west, but fine, I suppose. And that for now is apparently all the exploring we can do. So right, we may need new bases further afield to explore further, so right. That's why you need to expand. If I had, like, you know, a port here at the Cape of Good Hope, we could use that as a launching off point to explore further around Africa, so okay, that makes sense. For now though, just get back to the Gulf of Aden. I think you are making good money over there. Oh, perfect timing. We're now ready to do, yes, some sort of a government reform, so right, which is the one that makes me money? Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't love any of these that much. But this one, yeah, reduces the cost of my advisors if they match my culture by 10%. Which doesn't sound like much, but yes, as I've said previously, the advisors are currently costing me more than the entire armed forces, so You know what? Sure, because if nothing else, that also reduces estate influence. And, yeah, the last time the merchants hit 100%, they did try to depose me. So sure, why not? Oh, and I have got good news all round today. Number one, we have successfully prepared for the invasion by building a new army, together with all the transports we could ever need. And more importantly, at long cocking last, right, we get our first colonists. So okay, step one, we need to decide, yes, how we're dealing with the locals, because even though we're moving into a territory that's got no, like, cities, there's still people here. 3,000 of them. And apparently, yes, they're a bit aggressive and a bit fierce. So there's a good chance of potential trouble. So now the Montbassons have been taken care of for the time being. Yeah, by the looks of it, the upcoming local trouble is going to be down in this direction anyway. So, yeah, bring our principal army down over here just to keep an eye on all of that nonsense. But yeah, the options are coexistence, trade, or repression. I feel like I'm a trading nation, so let's start there. And, like, you know, we'll see how it goes. Step the next, select territory, and then send colonists. Which, apparently, we're doing. Hang on, who's the colonist? Where did the colonist come from? Do we know who the colonist is? Right, it's this guy up here, who previously I had 0 of, now I've got 1. So, he's gonna go down there, take care of that, and also, his chance of success is 8.8. I'm deeply concerned about what's gonna happen to him the remaining 92% of the time. Oh, blimey, you didn't waste any time. So, okay, he's already there. He's already attempting to build a colony. Possibly he's rolling some dice to make it happen. I'm not sure. Yes, indeed, he is dice rolling. So, every month, there's a chance the population grows by a tiny amount. So, yeah, it's only gaining, like, 45 people a year. Which doesn't feel like much, to be honest, no. Especially given, yes, the army we sent to, like, support him is still some distance away, so. Okay, we will invade Madagascar in just a second. You go keep an eye on that guy until, like, you know, the actual army we're using to defend him shows up. Sorry, he got to work way faster than I thought he was going to. And yeah, until he's done that, I can't expand any further, because I've only got 1 colonist to actually do the colonizing. On top of that, do bear in mind, this is my first naval invasion, so if we're going into this territory, we've got to make sure that their boats can't take out my transports. So I'm just going to bring, yeah, 10 ships down in this direction, because it looks to me like they've only got 6. Oh, speak of the devil, okay, it's good I did send those guys here, because, yes, it would appear that straight away they rose up, but my army was ready to meet them, so that's fine. But yes, back to the Navy. During the initial landings, what I'll do is just create 1 mega fleet. So yeah, there's plenty of ships to actually escort our landing craft. And yeah, because they recently attacked us, we're now not expecting another attack for like a year. So, okay, the colony should be chill for the time being. And in better and better news, these guys do not have any friends. And yeah, my friends wouldn't show up to assist, but honestly, that's fine, I kind of don't care. And in a perfect world, I will just come round here and sweep up the entire island. I'm not sure whether I can do that in one go, but if I can't, prioritize, yeah, territories that have actually got proper nice natural harbours. And yeah, this one to the west, it's got the most development around it, so, okay, you're gonna be the new centre of this here area. So okay. New army, attached to transport. Beautiful. So you are now ready to go, my friend. And alright. It's time to make this happen. I don't want any friends, so that's a-okay. And yeah, the territory I want more than anything is this one. So that'll be my main war goal. But yeah, the more we can take, the better. And there we go. We're now officially at war. Beautiful. With that done, immediately set out. We're going to run into their fleet straight away, but that is fine because our fleet is superior. They appear to be running for it for the time being. Now, how do we get our, yes, troops ashore, precisely? Can we just, there we go, we could just step out right here. question is, where precisely is... There we go. There's their fleet right now. We should probably focus on, like, destroying that before we do anything else, right? So, okay, step one, get our troops ashore just to make sure they make it without any trouble whatsoever. So, you guys are currently just, you know, moving straight towards our principal war target. Beautiful. No sign of their army. We should be, yeah, like half the size of mine, and also technologically significantly behind. So this should not be a huge problem. We've taken a tiny, tiny amount of attrition on the sea, but that is a-okay. Also, there may be supply issues here. Oh, there are big supply issues here, actually. So, right, once we've taken this territory and also destroyed their army, at that point, yes, we may want to, like, you know, split up our army. But I want to destroy their army first. So, right, we can afford the reinforcements for the time being. As for you, hunt the enemy fleet, destroy them. Also, it turns out there are literally no forts on this entire island apart from, yes, this one territory that's presumably the center of their empire. So, right, this is going to be a fast war. Got it. But yeah, until I know where their army is, I'm a tiny bit concerned about, yeah, them possibly jumping over to my shore. Then again, I've got a second army right here just in case they do. So this should not be a huge problem. There we go. We got eyes on. 8,000 odd, and probably they're trying to desperately train some more. So right, now we know they're fleeing northwards. We pursue and we destroy. Once their army's gone, we can break up my army, and then we won't be taking attrition from low supply in this area. Oh, better and better, we can move our admin technology up to level 6. And that's very important because that gives me access to the workshop, which the game desperately wants me to build in, yes, territories with ivory in them. Now, personally, I think that's a bit silly, because, yes, territories with ivory, their production's like, you know, 0.2, meaning we're just going to be boosting it up to, like, 0.3, which is very underwhelming. Meanwhile, if we were to do it, presumably, in a territory that's got cocking gold mines, yeah, that has got to be much more interesting. Gosh darn it, the game's one step ahead of me. Apparently, yes, you're not allowed to do that, so, you know what, that's fair. That would be ridiculously too strong. You know what, let's get one down over here in Mozambique, because you, sir, have got a relatively decent levels of production going on. So, yeah, bare minimum, that will make us a good solid amount of money. Say good solid amount. 0.17. Next to trading gold mining, it's not much, is it? Right, back to Madagascar. And where the conch is the local army. Because, yeah, we got to hunt them down and deal with them. And okay, I think we've caught them. They're moving down south. We're going to move down south as well. There will be a small river crossing penalty. But yeah, we should have... Oh, you sneaky bastards. You get back here. You cannot get away from me, okay? I thought you were locked in. So, if we're lucky, maybe we can, like, you know, move faster than them due to superior technology, generals, etc., etc. So, okay, just getting over there. And... okay. Now that's a good, favourable fight for me. Admittedly, we are taking, you know, some casualties, but we showed up with a lot more guys, so that's fine. Anyway, just take care of that, siege down everything, and we're going to be a-okay. Okay, we've kicked their ass a second time. They're down to 3,000 odd in their main army, so at this point, yeah. I think the best thing we can do is split our army in two. So, one, we don't take attrition, and two, we can siege down the rest of the island faster. Ah, hang on. This is nothing to do with supply limit at all. This is just, yes, a slightly hostile terrain. Because, okay, it's tropical, and as a result, there is always going to be a low level of attrition for enemies, just because it's difficult to move through. But that's fine. Honestly, 2 armies is a good idea anyway. Okay, entire island occupied, multiple naval victories, their army on the run, 100% war score, so, yeah. Let's see precisely what it is we can and can't get before, like, you know, the game starts flagging, okay, that's a bit much, calm down there. Because my main interest, of course, is, yeah, the south of the island. That seems to be more well-developed and more in line with me religiously, and also where all the good harbourage is. So, okay, that's all perfectly acceptable, though a coalition may form against you with this treaty, because this is going to cause too much aggressive expansionism. And these countries may join that coalition. Just this one, who potentially I could just, like, conquer right now. So, if I just, like, do this, then... Okay, so it turns out the best thing I could do is take everything, because then they won't be around to, like, seek revenge on me by building a coalition against me. So, okay, you know what? That's A-okay. Also, I'll be having, like, all of your money, please. They don't have that much money, but okay, you know what? We didn't even make a loss during this fight, so that is A-okay. Though, hilariously, their army is now considered, yes, like a rebel separatist group or something. So, okay, just mosey in that direction, deal with them, but... Oh yeah, that's a big increase in the amount of territory we've got. Meaning we are now up to a 92% over this entire trade node. So that's a lot of money coming in right there. So yeah, the value is 8.36, but I'm just so good at trade, I get way more than that. So, oh yeah, the economy is a blimey. I swear we didn't even have that much money after we took over the gold mines. Okay, well that was worth doing. And yeah, the only other people with any influence at all are the Adjuran. Not because of the one province they own, but I assume because, yeah, they've got light ships doing a trading in this area. Which I'm not sure I can actually, like, stop. Aside from by going to war with them and murdering them a bit. Also, apparently we've unlocked a new idea. So yeah, this is just colonial range, but I will take that because that should give me my own national idea, including bonus trade range. So, right, colonial range just went up a ludicrous amount. Trade range, that went up too. Oh, and apparently, yeah, for some reason it's going to be more expensive to core here than it was back in Zimbabwe. So, okay. So, starting point to prioritize... I think there might still be some rebels over there. Please go and stamp out the rebels, if you'd be so kind. Because, oh bloody hell, that's about to cause separatism problems, isn't it? So, please kill them before they, like, take the... Gosh darn it, I hate that bloody separatism penalty. Ah, but here's interesting. I can't actually core everything, because there needs to be, like, a path to core territory by land or sea. So the inland territories, we can't core them immediately. The coring needs to occur in phases on this occasion. Oh, though better and better news. Right, having invaded Madagascar, that was apparently a mission. Sorry, kind of missed that one. So, okay. Goods produced to go up. Missionary strength goes up too, though. When you say goods produced, is that just a really, really cocking, polite way of talking about, you know, the slaves, which seems to be the only thing this island cocking produces, aside from a tiny amount of grain and a bit of fish? So... No, seriously, could we do something about this? Because, yes, one, not really happy about this happening in my territory, and two, it's just a terrible good to be focusing on. Like, literally anything else would be more valuable. Oh, and I've just realised something very exciting, by the way. With all those new modifiers, I can finally get someone into range of the market to the east. And yeah, given I'm now currently at a merchant capacity, I feel like the merchant that's doing by far the least at the minute is the one over in the Great Lakes. So, yeah, it would be much better to send him over to Gujarat and to maybe start shipping a lot more trade over in our direction. So, okay, immediately, an entire 1.54 trade is being shifted from Gujarat down towards me. And on top of that, we just gain a 5% trade efficiency as a nice bonus for doing that. And that was even a mission. So, right, immediately, we gain ourselves an explorer. I'm gonna be honest, we already had one of those. Sorry, I just kind of, you know, did the idea thing and bought one of my own. But yeah, we've got even more trade efficiency there. And also... okay, hang on, I need to look into what's going on with all of these special merchant metrics I don't understand. Oh, here we go. So what we do is, yes, like factor in 10 million complicated things I don't really understand into trade. And all of it generates a number that is how good at trade I am. And specifically, yeah, I could spend my own diplomacy to make a trade even tradier. So, go on then, why not on this occasion? Brilliant! Because yeah, the end result is, goods in this market, 8.6, and we're gaining almost a 14 out of that, which is incredibly sexy. In fact, yeah, our node is now basically as powerful as the Gujarat node. In part because we don't have trade going anywhere, because the only place trade could in theory go is, yes, this entirely fictitious market that doesn't actually seem to exist. However, the other thing to note about that market is, yeah, there's trade coming into it, potentially from down in South India, and also presumably, like, I don't know, Indonesia, Malaysia, that bit of the world. So, right, that's presumably what the South African market could do for me. If I just build one small trade outpost, then have more merchants send them elsewhere, then all of a sudden, right, we can actually steer a lot of trade here that couldn't make it to the Zanzibar markets. Still, we know what to do with Madagascar, alright? We core it, we state it, we make giant amounts of money, and occasionally people just rise up and yell at us, and then we kill them with our army, it's fine. And while we're just waiting for that to finish up, I just finished the last workshop on an ivory producing settlement, though I do consider it, yes, a massive waste of time, all things considered. Like, we spent 500 gold for the tiniest increase in income. That was not a good use of our money. Oh, though apparently, Kilwa has already been expanded. I've already, like, met the criteria for the next mission, because it is true. I have just been doing nothing but investing in a Kilwa over and over again, because it makes more money than anywhere else. Oh, and also I charted the Uncharted South already, because yes, we sent that guy down there previously, so okay, we are just flying through missions at the moment. And, oh, colonies +1, global settler increase of +25. Oh, and apparently, there's already a territory that's just popped up down here at the Cape, so I didn't actually ask you guys to do that, but okay, apparently we're just going to, yes, own that market in a second. We should probably, like, send some guys down there, just to, like, keep an eye on it. 2,000 should do the job just fine, because, yes, by the looks of it, the guys who, like, live around here are, oh, we've got to, like, get them here. Maybe I'll send them by boat. Boat might be better. Oh, and just to put the cherry on top of a marvellous day, we could get our flipping military tech up to level 6 too. And bloody hell, with the whole of Madagascar now cored and whatnot, trade in this node has jumped to 12.5, meaning we're collecting cooking at 20 gold a month from trade thanks to all our new merchants, ports, etc, etc. Trade has now entirely overtaken gold by a huge margin as our biggest source of income. This is gorgeous. Still, I would say as our first colonies go down, including, yes, a slightly unexpected one down here at the Cape of Good Hope, how about we call it a pod there? But next time, right. I think now we've got the basics down, and you know, the local area very much belongs to us, it's time to start looking a bit further afield. Because suddenly, there's talk of Indonesia and whatnot, so, okay. It sounds to me like, yes, we need to start spreading out eastwards with our explorers and whatnot. If only because, yeah, if we can discover exciting new sexy eastern markets, then maybe, just maybe, the Cape of Good Hope could become, yes, a very, very exciting sexy location that we could utilise to harvest a lot of flipping trade. So hopefully you join me next time for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been a Europa Universalis IV. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I shouldn't have become friends with him, now I'm sad he's dead, because that's how friends work. I've just started the sexy schism. He was my brother! What? Why would you do that? You were literally the... Oh, he was the heir to inherit everything. Okay, fair enough. That's a good motive, actually. I should have been more suspicious of you.